time on a snowy day. A lovely princess was born in a kingdom far, far away. The princess was adorable and had skin as white as snow, so the king and queen decided to call her Snow White. Snow White grew up being loved by everybody around her. But then one day, the queen fell ill and passed away. In hopes to make Snow White feel better, the king found a new queen. The new queen was beautiful on the outside, but had an ugly heart on the inside. The new queen owned a magic mirror. Every day she asked the mirror a question. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who in this land is fairest of all?"
"You, my queen, are fairest of all."
Of course I am. But one day, the mirror gave a different answer. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who in this land is fairest of all?"
"You are fair too, but the lovely Snow White is fairest of all."
What? The new queen got angry and called a hunter. "Take Snow White into the woods and kill her immediately."
"Huh? Yes, ma'am."
However, the hunter could not bear to kill Snow White.
"Princess, run away as far from the castle as you can."
What? What do you mean, sir?
"Run away, quickly!"
Without knowing why, Snow White wandered around the forest until she discovered a small hut. "Excuse me, is anybody home?" When Snow White opened the door and entered, she saw 7 small beds, 7 small chairs, and 7 small plates lined up in rows. "I've never seen such small objects. I wonder who lives here." Snow White was tired after wandering through the forest for a long time. I'm so tired. Tired and exhausted, Snow White slowly fell asleep. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 dwarfs returned home after a hard day's work.
"Wait, someone is in here."
"I'm sorry. My name is Snow White." The 7 dwarfs listened to Snow White as she shared her sad story.
"You can come live with us, princess."
Meanwhile, the new queen asked the magic mirror a question once again. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, Who in this land is fairest of all?
Snow White, who lives in the forest, is the fairest of all.
What? Snow White is still alive? Impossible! The new queen lost her temper. The new queen disguised herself as an old grandma and headed to the small hut in the woods. She brought a poisoned apple with her. Pretty lady, would you like a taste of this apple? Oh no, I shouldn't open the door to strangers. Pretty lady, look carefully. Doesn't this apple look red and delicious? Wow, it does look very delicious. Snow White took a big bite of the apple. Oh, why am I suddenly feeling so dizzy? Snow White fainted to the ground. The dwarfs came home and were shocked.
What? Why has Snow White fainted?
Princess, please open your eyes! The dwarfs were sad and laid Snow White inside a glass coffin. They thought of her as they decorated the coffin with beautiful flowers. At that moment, a prince happened to pass by the woods. He saw Snow White laying inside the glass coffin with her eyes closed.
Oh, who is that beautiful person? That is Snow White.
Poor Snow White! The prince lifted Snow White up. Suddenly, a piece of apple popped out of Snow White's throat.
Hooray! The princess is alive!
Snow White woke up. Her eyes glistened once again. Thank you for saving me, Prince.
Snow White, would you like to go to the kingdom with me?
Snow White shook her head. But I can't leave the dwarfs behind. Upon hearing this, the prince began to think hard. After some time, there was a huge party in the dwarfs' woods. It was a wedding party for Snow White and the prince. The two had a happy wedding and celebrated with the 7 dwarves, and they lived happily ever after, going back and forth from the dwarfs' village and the kingdom.